Hello, this is a different video.
Very
We're doing we want to make this like a consistent series.
semi-consistent.
Yeah, revolving around FNAF theories. And for today's video, we're just gonna start doing a tier list of old FNAF theories, mainly from 2014 and 2015.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully
and
this won't take too long.
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. There's only like 15, I think, but we're not going to be ranking them based on like how good or accurate they are, because none of them are, well, like almost all of them are not accurate or good, but we're going to rank them like based on how much, entertainment we find out of them, or
Yeah.
how charming they are.
Also, apologies for the frankly terrible quality.
Yeah, this is our first time doing something like this, so
Yeah,
we're not really
yes.
used to it. Okay, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, the first theory we have up is I believe it's meant to be the crying child's hearts inside of the FNAF 4 box, if I'm correct.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This one's kind of just like a D or C, I'm not
I
gonna
really
lie.
dislike it.
Yeah, it's just, there's no charm to it either, so
It's kind of just gross.
yeah, like, it's one that I just don't care for at all, either. Like, it's nothing that I find interesting.
Yeah, also
So,
who keeps parts of their dead child in a box?
yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, William does seem like the type of guy to do that, kind of. But, I don't know, I feel like he would probably just get rid of it, though, at the same time.
Yeah, I assume, I guess.
Okay, we got Marine Theory,
Honestly,
which,
I think A.
yeah, because even though it's
It's not
really stupid
a good
now,
ending at all. There's a lot of evidence for
yeah,
it.
it's, it's extremely just not sensical at all in today's age of lore with FNAF, but it's iconic, and the fact that it was able to like get a reference in the movie is something. So, I think it
The
deserves at least
Dream
A.
Theory book, that's insane.
Yeah, I remember when I saw that the first time, I was like freaking out.
It was like that one meme. Oh, I know that.
Oh yeah, it's the one with like Captain America.
What?
There's one with Captain America where he's like, I understood that reference.
Yeah, that too, but I was more thinking the
Oh, you think
one
about the
with,
Leonardo?
yeah, the Leonardo
Leonardo
DiCaprio one.
Yeah, that one actually fits better. Okay, the next one is Nightmare representing death. Now, with everything that came from Didophobia, I guess this is technically debunked. But I actually thought this one was pretty decent.
I think it's really
Like,
cool.
yeah.
I think that it's cool that seeing as how he doesn't make sense in the slightest, and granted none of the Nightmare animatronics do, but
Yeah,
being
and I
like
think
a personification of death, so it just looks and sounds cool.
yeah, I think just the entire concept of him being like death itself is just honestly kind of like eerie. Like I feel like it adds to FNAF. Like FNAF 4 isn't even like one of my favorite FNAF games. I actually don't even like it that much. But I just think that kind of adds a lot to like the overall feel, because I love like the horror elements within FNAF 4 the most out of a lot of the games.
Yeah.
And there's also like a really sad tone to it, like especially with the ending and whatnot. So I don't know, there's just something about it that just adds to the overall vibe and feel that I really like. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty good one. Yeah, I would definitely say A tier, but yeah, probably like below Dream Theory though.
Yeah.
What is the next one? Something to do with Mike.
I think that's Mike Kill All.
Oh, Mike Hill. So that's the FNAF 2
Yeah.
trailer. Yeah, so yeah, this one is, I mean, personally for me, I would put it
I'd say C.
I would put it in B, but since I guess you don't feel as I think, yeah, it was definitely a very charming one, and I have a lot of memories with it. Like, I just remember watching a lot of, like, really clickbaity videos from, like, 2014 that were just like, you know, Mike the Killer confirmed from the FNAF 2 trailer. It's so funny because in the FNAF 2 trailer at the beginning where it plays London Bridge is falling down, it's just like a stock music file that Scott found and used for the trailer, and people were like reversing it and being like, oh yeah, Scott knew to pick this stock music because in reverse it sounds like Mike Killer. Like that element too of how absurd it is.
People always expected like Scott to like be like
a genius,
uber careful in every little thing.
Yeah.
When I think most of like the first 4 games was just him kind of fucking around.
Yeah, I mean he sort of was in a sense, but I think people thought of it as too much of him being a genius when it was just more like, I don't know. They thought too much into things. I mean, they kind of do now, but back then it was, like, even worse. But anyways, yeah, that's B tier. Next one is Foxy's a good guy.
S.
Yeah, that's an S tier. It's dog shit, but in the best way possible.
I love it. He's just a little scrunkly. I want to hug him.
Yeah. And it reminds me of the original FNAF is Not Scary when it would play that jump scare and it was like, he was like checking in on the night guard.
Hey, the pizza's here.
Yeah. He's like, just want to see if you want to have the pizza. So that one is just super charming. So that's just gives it S tier automatically.
Easy S. No question.
Yeah. All right, next, Foxy the Bite of 80 This one's a hard one because
I'd say B or A.
Yeah, I would say like high B.
All right.
Yeah, either high B or low A because mainly because it's super iconic, but yeah, it in a sense, right when FNAF 2 like came out, it was kind of completely debunked. So, like, it didn't like have a really long-lasting effect, but it was just super iconic because I think when FNAF 1 came out, it was probably like the most popular theory at the time. I feel like it was the one that you would see everywhere. Like that image that you use is like an old thumbnail, I think, from like 2014. So
to be honest, it's not entirely unrealistic even.
Well, I guess if you want to think that Withered Foxy did it.
I mean, he could have. Like, what if one of the people working on him like had to move him to work on it, and then they forgot to put him off of moving mode, and then he just moved around, and
that's valid. But I think it was the whole idea of how he was out of order in FNAF 1 because of the Bite of 87.
Quote unquote dislocated jaw.
Yeah, and I guess that was valid for back then, and that might have been what Scott was aiming for since he didn't expect to make sequels.
I don't think he ever really knew. Which one did the Bite of 87?
That's the thing. I think he might have just did that to create speculation because he wanted to, because he
wasn't ever expecting to make a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, he literally said that in Doggo's interview that he just never expected the game to blow up anyway. So, yeah, that'll be B tier. Next is Sparky, low-key S, because it's peak
got referenced by the movie.
Yeah, it got into the movie. So if you make that achievement with a host,
got referenced in the movie twice.
Oh yeah, that is true because of Map has cameo at Sparky's death.
Yeah, and then the Sparky animatronic.
Yeah, so that one's can be easily explained why it would be S. So let's just move on right away to
Pink Guy, another S.
Yeah, I would say either S or high A, because I won't lie, I genuinely believed this when I was little.
Oh yeah,
that this was true. I used to be like.
Pathumatric had me by the claws, being like, "Did you know that Scott Cawthon is extremely careful about all of the color uses?"
Although he wasn't the one that completely solidified me into believing it. It was Animatronic. Animatronic made a video, like a really long video, explaining how Purple Guy was innocent and was just a guy being framed by Pink Guy. Years later, I think they talked about how they completely regretted making that video. So
no, what if Purple Guy is Henry and Pink Guy is William Afton?
So true.
There is no reason for it. I think Scott was just feeling a little silly that day.
Yeah, it's just different shades of purple. So.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
It's a cool theory,
Okay,
though. Like, purple guy
yeah,
having
I
an
think
accomplice. That's a cool theory that, like, doesn't really get
yeah.
any
Well,
attention.
it's either that or like the whole thing where it's like I think I was really into the purple guy being framed thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the accomplice thing is pretty fun too.
It's cool,
And
that,
yeah,
like, honestly, modern FNAF is kind of like that. Because when you think about it, it's kind of like, Bird Trap or Glitch Trap or
oh,
Mal
that is
here,
so.
whatever.
It's a big, yeah,
It's
glitch mimic.
it's kind of like he's making people be his accomplice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the whole thing of it's honestly kind of like, in a sense, modern is Glitch Trap the Mimic. But yeah, okay. So next is the best image for this,
Phone
which is
guy
like
is purple guy. Yeah.
I guess B or
I
A.
think A.
Yeah, you know, A for the hell of it. Like it's it was sort of like it became really stupid and completely illogical at one point.
Yeah.
But for a little while, it was kind of valid.
I think it
Like,
was intended at first.
yeah, I honestly think that originally Purple Guy was meant to be holding a phone in his original sprite because, like, now it's the whole thing where it's like, oh no, he's holding a hand crank for the spring locks. Like, yeah, probably that's what it was retconned to be now. But
There's no way that Scott had like spring locks
yeah, like
in mind.
the only other thing it could have been like besides a phone at that time when FNAF 2 came out was like maybe a wrench or something.
Yeah.
Like I think that was a theory that it was a wrench for like opening up the animatronics so he could stuff children inside of him after the DCI or whatever. The most pointless event in FNAF lore.
I don't even. I don't know.
Yeah,
DCI, MCI. What if they're the same thing?
yeah, that was I remember I mean I think when I was younger, like around the time FNAF 2 came out, which was like when I was starting to really get into FNAF, I think that I low-key used to think that like the DCI was like meant to be the MCI.
It's hard to tell. It could
Yeah,
be. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
knows? And who cares?
A lot of stuff in the old era was like very vague in what it really meant. Like, what really did Jeremy's dreams really mean? Like, you know, what I'm talking about? The
Jeremy's
the after
dreams.
the after night visions. You know, when you're in the mask. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
that.
Yeah, like what is that? Like nobody knows really what that means. Some people were thinking that it was like the withered location, but Scott didn't make the animatronics look unwithered. He just used the FNAF 1 animatronics, but I don't know. It could have just been Jeremy tripping out, to be fair. It could have just been him having nightmares because, you know, animatronics. But
Probably.
like at the same time, it's like, why would they use the FNAF 1 animatronics? Because the FNAF 1 animatronics didn't exist at that point.
Yeah,
But
Scott purposefully didn't make the FNAF 2 animatronics look like unweathered FNAF 1 animatronics because he wanted to
yeah,
like have a different model for it. So I feel like
yeah,
if those were intended to be the original unweathered ones, then he would just made a new model for it.
yeah. I don't know.
So
It's hard to tell. We'll never get answers on.
maybe it's telling us that Jeremy eventually gets stuffed.
Yeah, maybe. Like, and maybe he's actually Freddy. Because technically you're looking through Freddy's eyes.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Alright, anyways. Next is Purple Guy animatronic. I would put that in S, in
S.
my opinion, but I don't know where you would put it, but
I'd say
I,
A, but I can leave it
because
as S.
I genuinely believed it was real at one point, and also Go Motion made it, and, you know, Go Motion,
That's insane. I can't believe.
they're amazing.
I can't believe that
Yeah, and
happened.
they were like 14, and people also really wanted to appear in the FNAF 2 movie, and I think
Can you
just
imagine that fucking thing just in the corner, like just trying to the actors trying to play off the bald purple baby in the corner?
low key is design is kind of creepy. Like
It's terrible.
it's
It's just a
it's
it's just a
it's like
bald baby.
it's a bald baby, but there's something about its like grin that just kind of freaks me out. But But like, if we saw that in the FNAF 2 movie, that would be insane. Like, I think that would be like even more of a greater achievement.
No, I just, I just got the
I think
best
that'd be
idea for another video.
what?
What if we ranked the horror skunks?
Oh no,
Sad
you're right.
backstory videos.
You're right. We should. I mean, to be fair, they're literally always the same thing. It's always a child has some pet or a stuffed animal.
Oh no,
that
oh
they
no!
use
Batman
like-
killed Banbaleena.
Oh yeah,
He
that,
did
that one.
That happened.
That one would be an S tier.
Oh, it would. Just for the fact that he like fucking just murders her.
Yeah. All right, we're getting really off track here. Now we're talking about fucking horror skunks.
Okay.
We don't want to
okay.
lose viewership.
FNAF 2.
Okay.
Dude, what viewership?
It's like B or C. Like
I'd say B.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like that impactful, but like it was. Like, even back then, it could have been considered really stupid, because it's like, why would you believe that fan song? Well, I think it was because some people believed that Scott talked to the living tombstone about the lore. Like, that was like, people, like, believed.
Why would he ever do that?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even talk to, like... Do you think he, like, talks to Steelwool about the lore?
I think he might talk to, like, maybe J-Top, but I don't know. Like, I can't really think of, like... No, I don't think he would, like, talk to, like, everybody, because somehow something would get out if that happened, I feel like.
Do you think he's even, like... Do you think he's talked to Matt Pat about the lore since he retired?
I do think he might have told him, like, a few things. Like, I think he might have told him maybe, like, if good or bad ending is canon in FNAF 3. Because technically we don't know.
That's messed up.
I mean, technically, probably what it is good ending is canon, but it could be Molten MCI. Because you know how people think that, was it in Help Wanted 2 that I think people spotted the thing where it was like the furnace, and it had all the...
That was Help Wanted 1.
Was it Help Wanted 1 where you see the FNAF 1 endos?
Yeah, when you burn a...
Yeah, okay.
It was something that surprisingly went unnoticed for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
honestly crazy to think of
That's
in
why I
this
thought it was-
community.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Help Wanted 2, because it got discovered, like, literally, like, a few months ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. But we went way off track. We're talking about It's Been So Long being canon. I mean,
Oh god, yeah.
the entire idea of, like, the puppet originally being, like, a mother is kind of cool, but it's like, when FNAF 2 dropped, it was immediately confirmed that the puppet was a child.
Yeah, yeah.
There's we see the mini-game for the puppet jump scares. But, like, at the same time, like, I guess it's kind of an interesting concept, so it definitely gives us some points.
And of course now we see that FNAF 2 isn't entirely reliable, thanks to Help Wanted 1, which is why people started questioning puppet stuff. But Hybrid Springtrap.
I mean, that in its entirety, that would have been like kind of a cool idea. I guess like B, but like maybe a higher B. Like maybe, yeah, right there.
I think it would have been like a really cool idea, but I can definitely see why he didn't go with it.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely valid for like before FNAF 3 being released for people thinking that. Like I think that's genuine. Like it would have made sense. Like, you know, because FNAF 3 was originally meant to be the last game.
Remember when people thought that Springtrap was like Golden Foxy?
Yeah, because the first teaser, the way that his face is like lit and the shadows around his face makes it look more like angular, like Foxy's. So that's why people thought it was like a Golden Foxy.
Freedom.
I mean, it was kind of funny, but that's about it. So yeah, C, I guess. Like, freedom. I will say genuinely, like, if you just listen to like it in the FNAF 2 trailer, it kind of does sound like he's sort of saying freedom, but like I don't know, the FNAF 2 jumpscares sound like just like if you just listen to it super closely, it low-key does kind of sound like that, but
why Foxy? Why was it only Foxy when all of them have the same jump-scare sound, right?
No, it was because it was from the FNAF 2 trailer. You know how the end of the FNAF 2 trailer is Foxy's jump scare? That's why, because people made that theory when the FNAF 2 trailer came out. But then FNAF 2 came out and you were like, oh yeah, everybody was saying it, so... Next, is Mike being the killer. And genuinely,
It's just honestly, I think it's just kind of a worse theory than Mike kill all.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like when FNAF 1 came out, that was probably the truth.
Oh, that was probably intended when FNAF 1 came out, but I just don't really like it.
Yeah, I guess it just didn't like last very long, so I guess it could have been interesting, like the idea of like, you know, you being like coming back to the like the whole thing was that you were coming back to the location so you could cover up your evidence.
Yeah, which
Well, that's kind of interesting, but I don't know. I guess it didn't leave like a big impact or anything, so like it's slightly interesting, but that's like about it.
Yeah.
So
If you were to tell
not a
someone
lot.
you think that Mike was the killer at this point, you'd get
Well,
laughed
no,
at.
yeah, obviously not. Yeah, I mean most of these theories you would get laughed at if you actually believed them, but
Did you know that purple guy is actually the phone guy?
whoa, true. No, purple guy animatronic being real, obviously.
Oh, 100%. Oh, did you
I
guys
mean,
see Sparky in FNAF 1?
even at this point, thinking Sparky could be canon to like the game timeline, possibly. I mean, if he was in the movie timeline, you never know.
You're right.
No.
And that's
Alright, so
honestly the scariest out of him.
yeah, the final theory is
Mangle.
low-key C.
Yeah.
I would put it maybe above Freedom because at least this one could have been a little more valid because this one came out when Scott reviewed on his website a bunch of camera images, and one of them was the camera image of when Twitchy and Mangle were on the same camera, and that's where it came from. And this was before people called them toy animatronics, when people called them 2.0, because the toy animatronic name wasn't revealed until FNAF 2 came out, when Custom Night was revealed.
Gosh.
So, like, I guess this one was kind of valid if at the time if all you had was just an image on Scott's website of Toy Chica next to like the head of like the new Foxy.
Yeah, and she's missing her beak and junk.
Yeah, it could have been interesting, and I guess I don't know. It's like
it's a cool idea.
Like and it's like the whole thing because you can kind of tell that Mangle is broken through that image, and people didn't know like what Mangle was really gonna be like before FNAF 2 came out. So they're like, oh, there's a bunch of like exposed parts, so they're not built yet. So we can just assume that this is them being built, I guess, because of the exposed parts. So it wasn't totally invalid. Like it didn't last very long, but I can understand where people might have come from. But because it didn't really last really long and it doesn't have as much of a big impact, it's not like super iconic. It's not, it wouldn't be that high on the tier list, but at least has a little bit of value to it, I guess.
There's one that we forgot.
What? Oh, it was the Mangle radio.
Yeah, the Mangle Police Radio. That's what I was thinking of.
If we had that one, it would probably be S, low-key.
Oh yeah, it's such a cool idea. Like,
cool idea,
like Mangle housed like
obviously it's dumb now because that was a stock sound that Scott used, like a mix of stock sounds. But that is low-key an interesting idea that it's like, and because that's sort of like reinforced the fact that a lot of people think that Mangle did the Bite of 87.
Honestly,
so,
I always thought of it more as like Mangle having the record of the
that is true because oh, really? I always thought of it because there were like multiple ways that people interpreted it, but I remember the way that I remember the first way that I found out about it was like it was supposed to be like the Bite of 87, like after the Bite of 87 happened, there was like Mangle was able to record the phone call. But that would be interesting too. That would actually make more sense because technically the Bite of 87 happens, later in FNAF 2 game.
Yeah.
It sort of gave a little bit like more depth into like the technology within the toy animatronics, because like everything about facial recognition and whatnot, we don't really. The only thing that like we get out of it is the mask aspect. Really,
yeah,
which
plus,
isn't even
anything with Mangle is cool because it's Mangle.
Yeah, Mangle's the best toy animatronic, so
by far.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially not because it's the only one that appears past 2.
Well, unless you count, like UCN and whatnot.
No.
But
like canon appearances.
Yeah. Well, UCN is canon, technically.
Shut up, we're not going there.
No, not AR though. AR has the other toys.
Like, my favorite, definitely still up game, FNAF AR.
So true, yeah. Rip FNAF AR. Anyways, that's probably gonna be it for today. That was fun. If you enjoyed this, just like and subscribe. You know.
Like, subscribe, and give me money.
Yeah, we're broke as hell.
That's
right.
true.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Oh, that's
Bye.
it. See ya.